Hi guys, so like Jeff said, I'm Lauren Ward. I'm an account manager with Seller Labs, and I want to introduce our next speaker. I have my notes here so I don't miss any of his accolades. But this is Bryant Garvin. Bryant is a dad to 5 kick-ass kids. He owns a couple of axe throwing businesses in Utah with his wife, Autumn. He's a partner and head of acquisition at Chamber Media, the world's most powerful D2C video and growth agency. Prior to Chamber, he was the original in-house advertiser at Purple, as we know as Purple Mattress, and helped it grow from almost nothing to 196 million in sales in their second year in business. And he'll be speaking today about YouTube video. So welcome, Bryant.
What's up? How are you guys doing? Are you awake after lunch, or are you kind of going into that coma mode? Getting there? All right, well, I'll try and keep you guys awake. Try not to be too boring. Start off with the right slide at the beginning, a little bit of action, right? So as I was talking with Jeff, trying to come up with, I'm like, these are all Amazon sellers. What am I going to talk to them about with video, especially video that's not just throwing something up on their listing, right? And so we came up with the idea that this is really about helping you guys level up. And this is, of course, Thor leveling up, right? From being a product seller to a brand builder. And there's a big difference between somebody that's just slinging products and somebody that's built a brand. And video is one of those ways that can really help you guys drive that growth and build that brand for you. So family's everything to me. Obviously, I got 5 kids, right? The older ones are not as cute as the little ones anymore. But they're everything to me, really. So, get you guys. This is my theme song, right? And I want to make sure you guys get in the right frame of mind, because I want to make sure all of you guys win. Oh, right, back up. All right, good. So, to give you a little bit of background story and why you might want to pay attention to me, is this chart here shows in blue Casper mattress and in red Purple mattress. Everybody used a Google Trends chart before, right? It's indexed off of the highest point in the chart. Notice if the far right, I guess for you guys, yep, is now indexed off of Purple. What's cool about that is we started about 2 years later. Notice there was a lot of search volume for Purple mattress before we launched. Okay, it's not something people randomly searched for, okay? One of the other really cool things is until February of 2018, we were all funded internally. There was no outside investment in the company, whereas by that point in time, Casper basically raised $250 million, okay? So how did we grow so much quicker than they did? And video is the key to that. So I'm gonna take you behind the scenes a little bit, talk about why Purple was a video first company and why you guys should think about that as well. So Gary Vaynerchuk, whether you're a fan or not, every now and then he has some really good content, as long as you're not subscribing to the work 80-hour days, right? So why every small business should have a Super Bowl commercial was an article that he wrote, and it talks about every company should have what's called an anchor video. And an anchor video is really that main video that, and it can be for specific products, but it entertains, it informs, it engages. Like, think about what a Super Bowl video is, right? It's trying to get you emotionally connected with the brand and make sure that you like that brand and their products that they're selling. So every company should have an anchor video, right? Why video? Well, here's an example of something that happened in the Purple offices one day. So they decided that right there was my desk, the one that's like right there. It's really messy, but you don't need to have a clean desk to be brilliant. So the best part is the guy at the end looking in like, what the hell just happened? So what happened is they took a piece of material that was about this big, and they decided to stretch it out as far as it could go. And then they were going to let go at the same time. So they counted down 3, 2, and then it snapped. It's even better to watch in fast motion. All right? So, but the whole reason why I'm showing you this video is not just to get you guys to wake up and laugh, but because it drives emotion, right? So many emotions. All the guys in the room right now are sitting here going, oh my gosh, right? And the girls are just laughing at the stupid guys, right? But it drives emotion, okay? And that's what you need to do with the video. That is why video is so awesome, is it drives emotion. And you can drive hyper growth with that video. At Purple, by the time I left in July of last year, we had done over 1 billion video views on our ads. So that means people chose to watch our ads over 1 billion times in the 2.5 years that I was there. Okay? Crazy. Every single day, I was getting people to waste 6 years of their life watching our ads. Anybody else in the room can say that? No? All right, we'll get you there. But really freaking cool. My favorite is that, one of my designers back in the day put underneath, that's 35,040 hours per day. What the hell? Right? Like, just a crazy amount of time that people are choosing to watch ads. Okay, why? Well, stories are remembered 22 times more than facts. Apparently there's this little university, Stanford, that did some study. Okay? There's also this dude, Gerald Zaltman, that wrote a book, How Customers Think, and I highly recommend all of you get it. It's not available on audiobook or any of those things, so he doesn't necessarily know how customers think today, maybe? I don't know. But you can buy the hard, it was written a while ago, guys, like 10 years ago. But you can buy the hardcover off of Amazon, obviously. But basically what he says in here is that 95% of all of the decisions that we make, including consumer purchase decisions, are made unconsciously. I want that to sink in. 95% of the purchase decisions that consumers make are made unconsciously or subconsciously. And then they go validate it. Then they go look for the proof. Then they go read the reviews. Then they sort through all of your images. Then they watch, YouTube video about it. They make the decision before they ever actually transact. And they don't even know why they're doing it a lot of the time. It's made unconsciously, and emotion is one of the strongest drivers of the unconscious. Okay? Every consumer, every company has an emotional bank account. And every single time you guys are just asking for the sell, you're draining that bank account until you're like her and you're just shaking the piggy bank and nothing's coming out. Okay? So you've got to engage with consumers and create emotional relationships with them. That's what brands are, right? Emotional relationships. There is not a single thing that polar bears have to do with Coca-Cola other than driving an emotional connection, right? So you want to drive that emotional connection, and video is one of the ways you can do that. So, an anchor video. All right, so an anchor or a hero video, what Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about, is a video that engages emotionally and educates at the same time, right? I don't know why I ended up picking this one where there was 2 guys, like in my presentation, that got hit where they didn't want to be, but I just noticed that actually. Apparently it's some subconscious, Freudian thing that, from when my sister, when I was, never mind. That didn't feel good. But, so the anchor video, it is the thing that can engage people. That was 30 seconds, right? There was actually 40 seconds. Did that feel like 40 seconds of video? Right? And that's what a really awesome video can do for you. This is one of the ones that we did for creditrepair.com at Chamber Media. But that's not the only type of video you want to have, right? You want to have other videos throughout the funnel that can engage your consumers, product demonstrations, before and afters, all of those types of things, okay? You want to overcome objections, right? That first one is like it's as cheap as Netflix. They're selling life insurance, final benefit stuff. Who would have thought of making a big video about, that you could run on YouTube and social about that? Add to cart reminders, discounts. You can use all of these throughout the whole funnel, right? Some of these actually have nothing to do with selling the product, right? They're just engaging the consumer again in the brand and trying to drive that emotional awareness and recognition. When videos start to play on Facebook, which is about 70% of the time, us people decide to watch them on average for 16.7 seconds. That's if one of your friends shares the video. How many of you think you can sell your product in 16.7 seconds? One, couple of confident people, okay. What about with an ad, 5.7 seconds? Anybody want to sell me their product in less than 6 seconds? No? Okay, I've got worse news for you. It's actually 2 seconds is what you have to engage a consumer on social, Facebook, YouTube. By the 2-second mark, they've already decided whether they're going to keep scrolling through the newsfeed on Facebook or hitting that skip button on YouTube. Okay? How many of you can sell something in 2 seconds? Right? It's not possible. That's why you need to make really engaging content that gets on. The word that I use on Facebook is a thumb stopper, right? You want them to stop scrolling to engage with your content. And so the most important part of your video needs to be that first couple of seconds of your video. If you can't engage a consumer, you can't sell a consumer. Okay? So one of the things that we do is we actually test everything. Okay? There's a little thing that comes up on the bottom here. Don't ever try this at home, ever. But I just like fire. And how cool is it that you can make a gummy bear turn into fire? Like, I don't know. Anyways, the things you can find on the internet, right? Thank you, YouTube. So the intro. I'm going to show you 3 different intros, and at the end I want you guys to vote on which one was the most engaging through testing. Okay, number 1. Number 2 is a little bit more crazy. Okay, so some of the intros that we would test would be way out there. Some of them are really normal like the first one. This one was another benefit-driven one. I'm going to let this go a little bit longer just because Junior is one of my favorite characters we did at Purple. I'm thinking that's mostly because he reminds me of pretty much all 5 of my kids. And that's sometimes my face after they've done some of the things that they've done, right? So those three there, right? The first one was, did you know that the wrong mattress protector can ruin the feel of your mattress? Second one was, Bigfoot pee smells like lilacs and daisies. And the third one was, did you know that a sting could void your warranty? Who votes for number 1? Nobody? Okay, number 2. Okay, good group. What about number 3? Okay, it actually looks like 3 was the winner in this room, but when I ran ads against these, and that's one of the things that I did, is I actually tested these in a live environment. I didn't just ask people. I ran these as ads in whichever intro, and that was the only difference between these videos, was that intro. Guess what? The number 1 is the one that won. Did you know that the wrong mattress protector can ruin the feel of your mattress? That might be the most boring intro question ever. But it was done with a really unique character in a really unique way. And here's the thing. If I asked you what the weather was like outside right now, every single person in this room that's actually paying attention, they would start to answer that question without even thinking about it. They would want to figure it out. Questions, we are biologically driven to answer questions because that's how we survive, right? So testing with questions is a great way to figure out what might actually resonate with people. Okay, we also tested videos. Pay attention because there's something different in the next one I'm going to show you. So we ran that one, and then 18 months later, I decided to do a test to see if something would make a difference. And so we changed one thing in the video. See if you guys can figure out what it is.
What's a super easy way to tell that your kid is awful? The raw egg test. Let me prove it.
Okay, can anybody tell me the difference between those two videos? Anybody want to try? Nope. 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 Same question. Nope. Exactly the same. Anybody else? Nope. It was the same in both. Nope. Same. Nope. 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 Everything's exactly the same except for this little logo in the corner here. Exactly the same except for that logo. Okay? Now, the reason why I ran this test was because I would go to conferences like this and people would be like, "Where do you work?" And I'm like, "Purple." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "The mattress company." And they're like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Goldilocks smashing eggs on that." Oh, they knew the video, they didn't know the brand. Okay? So the mattress was, like the brand in the mattress was fully introduced about 2 minutes into the video. The average watch time on YouTube was 1 minute and 31 seconds. Okay? So 18 months in, this video had already been viewed a couple 100 million times at that point in time. I decided to run a brand lift study on Google, okay, on YouTube, where I run an ad to an audience. They hold out part of that audience and see what the difference is in lift on people actually searching for my brand term, Purple Mattress, right? 18 months after, on a video that had already done a couple 100 million views, you would think that that wouldn't be that big. But simply adding that purple logo drew almost a 29 times lift in people searching for Purple Mattress watching that video versus not watching that video. That's the only difference. They had probably seen that video before, okay? Here's the cool part. If they skipped the ad, it almost drove a 6 times lift. So there was one simple change made in that video that not a single person in this room, and I've only had 6 people in the 18 months I've been presenting that, actually tell me what it was, what the difference was, but it drove subconsciously. They got what it was, even though they didn't recognize that that logo was there to begin with, okay? So as you're driving videos, right, you can do shares. They're going to be, these are some of the things that you want to look for, right? Doing it right, it's not just about the video, it's also about how you amplify the videos, okay? There's a process to creating videos, but it's also what you do with that video after it's created, okay? If you look at Purple, the number of views that we've got on our top 12 videos, right? The lowest one right here is 12 million views, okay? Compare that to Dollar Shave Club, which was one of the most viral brand videos, right? We've heard of all of this content, all of these things about it. Their most viewed is the original one, 7 years, and it has 26 million views against it. They've got 22,000, 14,000, 13,000, right? It's because they're creating content, but they're not doing the amplification of that content right, okay? Contrast that with Old Spice. They actually put money behind their ads. And that's one of the things I want, a dirty little secret for you guys to know. Viral brand videos only happen if you put money behind the videos, okay? And the only way you can continuously and sustainably put money behind the videos is if it's doing what? Selling your product, okay? So I'm going to talk to you about YouTube first and then a little bit on Facebook. YouTube, over 1.5 billion users, okay? I think it might be up to 2 billion now, but it's not that 2.5 that Facebook has. I know, so horrible. 1 billion hours are watched daily. So my 6 years was just a little tiny smidgen of that, right? 54% of millennials visit daily. It's an audience everybody seems to be wanting to advertise to. It's actually the longest engaging average session time per day of any of the social platforms. 68%, which is one of the things John alluded to, use this channel to help make purchase decisions. Have any of you ever gone on YouTube to do a review or a tutorial or a how-to about a product that you were going to be buying, right? So 68% use it to make purchase decisions. 80% of the 18 to 49-year-olds are on there in a given month, but yet only 9% of US businesses are using YouTube advertising. Let's rewind 2 slides, right? 68% use this channel to help make purchase decisions. Only 9% of businesses are advertising. What does that smell like to you guys? Opportunity. Bacon I smell. I do voiceover work, just kidding. This is what a YouTube ad looks like, right? Like what you should do. My buddy Corey Hankey helped me put this together. And you've got the different places that you want stuff in the video. One of the coolest part about YouTube, though, in my opinion, is that you only pay if your video is longer than 30 seconds after they've watched 30 seconds. If your video is less than 30 seconds, you pay when they've completed a view. Okay? How many of you have ever served an ad on Facebook and not been charged for it? Because they refunded you? Yeah, exactly, right? This is an everyday thing. All of that 6 times lift in brand search where people skipped my ad, I didn't pay a dime to serve them that ad. Okay, pretty powerful, right? I really like GIFs, if you couldn't tell. So it also has amazing targeting. Has anybody ever heard of custom intent targeting? It's one of the newest things that Google's rolled out for YouTube and display. Why does everybody love Google search as an advertising platform? Let me ask that question. Strong intent, right? They're telling you exactly what they want, or what their problem is, or what they're thinking, right? What's cool is Google actually rolled out the opportunity where you can create a custom intent audience where you can basically take all of those keywords you might have been using in Amazon or Google for search, and everybody that searched for those things in the last 30 days, you can then serve them an ad on YouTube. Do you think that's pretty powerful? Absolutely. And you're not going to have to pay like the $20 to $80 a click that I would have had to if I was running mattress non-branded terms. Okay, but I can still reach the same consumers. Do you think they're going to pay attention to your ad if they were just looking for something like your product? Hell yeah. Okay. This is one of the case studies that Google did with us while I was there. Almost a 37% lower cost per visit by running YouTube ads and a higher ROAS than non-branded search by running video. Another one, life events. Somebody getting married, somebody graduating college, some of those things. These are some of the targeting options that are available to you guys there, okay? How much do you think that video cost us? Because everybody talks about, oh, Purple, you guys spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on videos. Free? It was free, actually. That's not usually the response I get. Way to go. The reason why, hey, Jeff, you've been to my presentation before. You can't talk. Shh, shh, shh. So it was free. In the early days, I found a customer that had posted it to our Facebook page, like saying, oh my gosh, we love our Purple mattress, blah, blah, blah. It was just a hyperlapse taken on their phone. I reached out and asked them if we could use it. They responded with yes, and then my legal team got involved. I had to sign some stuff, and then I could actually take it and use it, right? It cost a couple of hours for my team to put music to it, add some captions, add an end screen, and then I ran it. Now, if you go to the YouTube channel for Purple, it is the 3rd most watched video on there, and it cost me nothing, okay? Now, how can it be the 3rd most watched video? Remember the secret I told you guys earlier? It's because it was driving sales, so I could put money behind it. How cool is that, right? See if this will go. So big brands also screw stuff up. And I'm showing you this right here simply because I want you guys to see the difference between what we did, the purple. Notice that it doesn't extend the whole entire thing, right? We specifically chose to cut that off a little bit, okay? Because what happens in this placement, the list price for Google is $900,000 for one day. Okay, that is not what we paid, but that is the list price for this placement, which is a YouTube homepage takeover. It's called a masthead. Notice what's different about this one? Missing the head guy, gecko, right? So the brand agency that made this video and has sold Geico on putting it up thought it would look better for some odd reason using the whole ad placement, right? But big brands are messing up video too. So there's opportunity for smaller brands to actually come in and do it right. Okay, this favorite video we ever did. This was a couple years ago when it was playing in the Super Bowl. Which, by the way, that got so much social engagement. But what's funny about that is we recorded 2 videos because we knew who was going to be in. We really quickly cut that. We did those in-house. We just bought some jerseys that looked like the color right and made one for each team. Whichever team lost, we put up, okay? It didn't sell the mattress at all, but it engaged people on an emotional level, right? It's about as emotional as you can get if you were an Atlanta fan that time. Or the opposing team rubbing it in their face, right? See if this goes. So there's a big difference between YouTube and Facebook. 85% of the videos watched on Facebook are done without sound. Think about it. When do you use Facebook? When you're standing in line at Starbucks, you have a couple of minutes to waste, you pull it out and you're scrolling through. You have no idea what to expect, honestly, what's going to come up in the newsfeed, and you don't play any of the videos with sound because people around you would hate you. Okay? YouTube, on the other hand, you go to YouTube to do one thing and one thing only, to watch videos. Okay? How many of you would have loved watching Endgame with no sound? No takers? Right? So those are 2 of the really big differences between YouTube and Facebook. It doesn't mean that Facebook doesn't work. It just means you have to do things a little bit differently. Okay? This is the video we ran on YouTube. Really simple product demonstration, really short. Notice there was music there. It's widescreen aspect ratio. This is one that we ran on Facebook. The volume is so loud on this thing, right? But also notice the aspect ratio is different, okay? You got to make your content for the platform that you're running it against. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people do when they get into video, because it takes a little bit more time for you to actually edit it again in the right aspect ratio, is they just throw up the same thing across all platforms. But you've got to think about how consumers engage with the platform if you want consumers to engage with you and your brand. Okay? You've got to unlearn what you've learned. What I mean by that is most people, when they're running Facebook ads, if any of you have, pretty much only do conversion-focused campaigns. There's a problem with that. The Facebook algorithm, so let's say you had a lookalike audience of 1% here in the US. That's 2.1 million people. Okay? Depending on what objective you choose, Facebook is going to then whittle that audience down to a percentage of that. Okay, so if you have 2.1 million people, you might get lucky and show your ad to 500,000 of them if you're conversion focused, because Facebook is saying, even though these people look almost identical to people that have purchased from you in the past, we're only going to show the ad to those that are likely to convert within the next 7 days, because that's the attribution window we have to run these ads off of, right? And so they're going to do that. Video view campaigns, though, you can reach pretty much the other 75% and do it extremely cheap, and then set up flows where you're retargeting everybody that watched that video, trying to get them to go into site. Because if it's their first engagement with your brand, most people are not likely to just click and go buy, right? We just saw that from John's presentation. The length of time that people spend researching before they buy a product is significantly longer than anybody actually thinks it is. On Facebook, you're going to want shorter videos, 10 to 30 seconds. Okay, here's another one. We did it in a square aspect ratio. Same video basically, but square is awesome. If you can't do a vertical one and a wide one and a square one, do a square one for Facebook because it's got pretty good like it takes up a lot of the screen on both desktop and mobile. Instagram story ads. Anybody watch Instagram stories? Like click through, do all that stuff? So the big difference between Instagram story ads and the Facebook newsfeed is like 90+% of Instagram stories are watched with sound on. So if you're looking to tap into that market, you can do it right there with Instagram story ads. Okay, this is what one looks like. Not a unique call to action, right? Because that's what you want them to do is swipe up to go to the site. Okay? One of the things you can do with Facebook as well, which you can't necessarily do with YouTube, right? When you get a YouTube ad, you don't see the number of likes and shares and comments and all of these things. You just see the ad. Facebook is a platform, though, where that social proof actually makes a big difference on whether you're going to engage with ads. So you can actually run ads to audiences that have already liked your pages, already bought from you, already done those things to get that engagement before you push it out to cold audiences. Because if you do that, the cold audiences are more likely to interact because there's social proof that people like that video or that ad. Okay? Here's an example, scrolling through the news feed here the other day, and then somebody shared this. First off, I have no freaking clue why it's steaming right there. Secondly, I don't know why you would really put that in ice, right? Like, but it grabs your attention. But what really grabbed my attention was the fact that there was 61.7 million views. My cousin and somebody else shared it, right? So you're more likely to engage with content that appears to be something that people have already engaged with, okay? Social proof for the win. Any other geeks in the room? Hells yeah. All right, boom. So which audiences would you want to run ads to before you push them out to colder audiences? I don't know, fans of your page, friends of fans, engager audiences, video view audiences, and customer audiences. Okay, this is one of my favorite videos that we ran at Purple. Yeah, we bootlegged a few things. But it's just a video of Riker walking in and sitting down. But watch the way he sits down. He swings his foot over every single chair that he goes to. Right? Something I never caught all of the years that I've been watching this show. Like he always does that. What's cool about this, notice there's 15,000 reactions to this post, and there's 8,200 shares. There's over 50% of people that watched this shared it. Okay? And it wasn't selling my product. All I did was throw in that freaking, hey, no matter how you sit, make sure you sit comfy. Go here, right? But I had 8,200 people share this with their friends and family. It drove sales, right? If you're looking through, again, newsfeed, this is for a brand called Kuru Footwear. Pay attention to all of the different reaches on these posts, okay? 2,200, 6,500, whatever, right? And then here's one where they actually put a little bit of money behind it. Not a lot of money, but look, 37 shares, 155 likes, 42,000 people reached. Keep going through. You can see which ones they actually boosted to audiences and which ones they didn't. Okay? The things that actually paid attention. 1 share, 18 likes. 1 share, 9 likes, right? Oh wait, 175 likes, 20 shares, 74,000 people reached. So using some of these things can make a big difference, okay? It may not lead immediately to sales, but if you're building a brand, you care more about building that brand long term than just grabbing that immediate sell. And you've got to start thinking a little bit more long term. Instagram. Really expensive video to make, right? Like 10 minutes? Okay. So, totally expensive, right? Let's pour some water on a shoe and videotape that, have a bunch of still images and throw text over it, and then have somebody walking at the end, right? But if you look at that, almost 500,000 views of it, 176 comments, it grabs your attention, right? And that brand, this brand, the ones on my feet, they are selling $200+ boots to guys, okay? But they're building the brand. You know how many people want Taft shoes even if they can't afford them today? So if you're going to seed your post, you can also then take, okay, when you're posting to Facebook, how many of you just throw a post out there and hope it works? Pretty much everybody, right? But you can actually run some ads first and see which message is going to resonate before you push it organically, okay? So if you're in here, whoops, it's not going to play it. Maybe? No, it won't play it. Anyways, you can go in your Facebook Business Manager, there's a place that's page posts, and within there, there's ads. You can actually go run multiple variations of ads, and then the one that actually gets the best engagement, push that live to the page afterwards, okay? So then when it goes live on the page, it already looks like it has a bunch of engagement, which means people are more likely to also engage with it, and you also know it's a message that's likely to resonate. So how am I tracking video stuff? For Amazon sellers, it's going to be even rougher, okay? But even if you're doing direct to consumer with your own website, it's next to impossible, to be completely blunt. Because like John showed, there's tons of different touch points. There's tons of days and time lag that happens from that first time you reach out and touch somebody, right, with a brand ad to when they actually convert. One of the things you can do if you know how to run search is you can take everybody, and I ran this test specifically because my CMO at the time was like, we don't need to run brand search ads, dude. I'm like, okay, I think we do. And so I split it out. People that exactly searched for purple mattress, there was a group. The non-RLSA group is the group of people that had never been to my website according to Google. And then the other group was people that had been to my website. 85% of all of my searches were people that had never been to my website before. And it's not a random query that they had ever done, right? Now, they didn't convert as high as somebody that had been to my website, but just because they were searching for my brand, it didn't mean they had fully decided they were going to buy my brand. We engaged with them, but everybody else was bidding against us as well. I don't know, that looks kind of correlated, right? YouTube impressions to brand search impressions. It's actually a 0.79 correlation in case you're wondering. I know it's not one, but, and I didn't do that because I'm not the statistics guy, I had somebody else in my office. But I did this, and then they actually ran the numbers. So you got to start measuring things at a macro level. Dollars out, dollars in. I know especially because of Amazon, so many people are focused on the advertising cost to sell, right? Well, it's there. But you've got to start looking at how much you put out, how much you brought in. Because when you start running more top of funnel brand stuff, you're not going to be able to track it as easily. Somebody watches a YouTube ad and then goes search for your brand. Which one of those gets the credit? The brand search. The YouTube ad looks like it does nothing, okay? Now, if you're serious about YouTube and brand search and Google and doing all of that stuff, you can actually break out your YouTube account into a separate one with a separate conversion pixel so you can get a little bit better data, okay? And that was supposed to be funny for anybody in the room that like does low carb and keto, and I didn't hear anybody laugh. It makes me really sad. I'm a total geek, obviously. So, ROI beyond the pixel. One of our brands that we worked with at Chamber Media, $500,000 in spend, $894,000 in revenue. It's 1.8 ROAS. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, and those are the Facebook spends and YouTube spends. Then we spent $93,000 on search, but it added $650,000 in revenue. Okay, when you started adding that up. Throw in email, added another $300,000. Okay. But when you throw in lifetime value, you've got a 5-to-1 return on ad spend. Okay? You've got to start looking beyond what you're just tracking in channel and what's actually happening over the lifetime and what's driving those results. If they never had seen my videos, they never would have searched for purple mattress, right? You've got to start thinking a little bit differently instead of just focusing on the numbers that are in the dashboard, because the numbers in the dashboard are wrong, bottom line. They are not accurately tracking everything. 65% of my traffic, top of funnel at Purple, was female. 65% of my traffic converting was male. How the hell does that happen? Oh, well, the wife or significant other, spouse, watched the video, was engaged by it, then went and talked to the husband or significant other, and then they ended up researching it and buying it. Anybody know a platform that offers cross-spouse attribution? I didn't think so. All right, so you got to focus in there. Prospecting, top of funnel. You got to think about different return on ad spends, and this applies to Amazon as well, which I'll talk about later on my next session. But prospecting, you're looking at a 1 to 2 return on ad spend. Once they actually start searching for your brand and other people that are in market, it's 2 to 4. Direct traffic, recall, remarketing, you're getting a 3 to 5. And then when you do everything else together, especially for those that are in retail and doing those, you can have a 5x plus when you start looking at the lift across everything. So to wrap it up, again, my babies are so much cuter than my big kids these days. Mostly I think it's attitude related, but whatever. So you should be testing everything, okay? Don't just test products and variations there. Start running videos and testing those videos, the different intros, the different content that's a part of it, different platforms. Get outside of your comfort zone and start doing things that might appear to be a little bit more risky. I guarantee you, if you make the right kind of content that engages and educates and sells, whether you track it or not, you're going to start seeing a lift, okay? Again, family is everything to me, 13 plus years. SEM, digital specific. I started at Lycos. If there's any of you in the room old enough to remember Lycos, whoop, whoop. There's like 5 of us. It's first media buyer at Purple, partner at Chamber. Some of the brands I've worked with before, and I'm really hard to find. So I'll see you guys in the future. Good?
Thank you. Awesome. We're gonna have Bryant come back up and talk. So we're just gonna jump right off. But thank you. Is anybody doing, besides Colleen, you can't answer because I know you guys are at Smarter Marketer. Anybody doing anything like this with their brand right now? Video, YouTube, video advertising. Some trying it. Yeah, a couple people starting to kind of dive into it. This is next wave, right? Like this is where you need to go. We were just talking outside about how the future of shopping is going to be social shopping, and video is going to be a big, big driver of that. Exactly. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Great.